In this video, I'll go over dynamic allocation of memory, which is another application of pointers. The program has a class circle here, which we're all familiar with, and also the function print array that receives an integer array and prints it. Let's start the main by allocating, dynamically allocating an array of size 5. To do that, I'll declare an integer pointer list and set it equal to command new int and inside brackets 5. This command new basically allocates 5 integers, just like an array of size 5, and returns the address of the starting element. And that returned address is assigned to list. So this list pointer is pointing to the starting element of this array. Now, I can either use the array syntax and initialize these elements. List 0 is equal to, let's say, 5. List 1 is equal to 10, let's say. Or I can use pointer notation to initialize this list. This is list plus 2, so that is basically the element at index 2. Notice that I've used dereferencing and assign 15 to that particular element. Similarly, I can basically assign the element at index 3. I can assign, let's say, 50 to it. And finally, the last element. Let's go back to array notation. List 4 is equal to, let's say, 100. These are the elements of this dynamically allocated array, basically, integer array. And I can verify the elements in the array by calling the print array. So I'm going to do that. Print array function and send it our list, the pointer list, and the size of it, which is 5. We'll run this program and look at the output. And here it is. This is the output as we have initialized in the main program: 5, 10, 15, 50, and 100. Now keep in mind that this memory was allocated during the runtime when the program was running. So when we are done utilizing, when we are finished using the memory, we should return it. The allocated memory should be returned to the system. And for that, we use the delete command. Delete and then brackets list. This basically returns all the 5 allocated memory space back to the system. So the system will not run out of what's called heap memory, basically. When we are finished, we return the memory back to the system. Now, right now, list is not pointing to anything. List is just an integer pointer pointing to nothing, basically. We can reallocate another set of integer space if we like and utilize them, but right now list is not pointing to anything. We can similarly allocate objects dynamically as well. We have the circle class here. I can actually allocate a circle object dynamically, and here is the command for it. Circle, that's the type, a circle pointer. Let's call it CP. It is equal to new circle, and let's use the constructor with parameter. Let's say radius of 10. This basically dynamically creates a circle with radius 10 and returns its address in the memory, which is now assigned to CP. So CP points to this circle. Now I can use this pointer to call, let's say, the area function in the circle, which returns the area of the circle. To do that, we have to dereference this pointer, star CP, there's dereferencing, and use the dot notation to get to the area function. There's the area. And then end line. So we'll run this program, take a look at the output here, and this should give us the area of the circle with radius 10. 10 squared is 100 times pi 3.14, and that's correct, 314. There's another way to call the area function, and that's the arrow notation. So we'll go over that as well. See out, instead of dereferencing the pointer CP, we can use the arrow notation CP and then the arrow, and then call up the function area. And this will do the same thing. It basically calls up the function area in the circle CP is pointing to. So we'll run this as well. And here it is. I use the notation in line 35. I use the arrow notation, and the arrow notation is more popular in accessing the functions in the object. We can also delete this pointer now. To delete it, again, the command delete, and then followed by the name of the pointer, in this case circle pointer, and that will basically return the memory allocated for this dynamic circle back to the system. Notice there was only one circle, so I don't need the brackets in this command.